Hi, Anne.
Hi.
Listen, we go a little bit back. I'll have to ring your bell on this one. Music Midtown was in Atlanta, and you were on stage with the Indigo Girls and Darius Rucker and Sean Colvin. Do you remember
Right,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, I was the person that had to ask all the questions. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was with you on stage then, and I'm delighted. That's been a long time. That's been like 10 or 12 years, but I'm delighted to be talking to you again finally.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember Lucinda Williams was playing across the way somewhere.
Yes, at Music Midtown.
Yeah, yeah.
And Alex Cooley had that kind of round table going, and that was just really one of the most cool things I've ever done. I think
Yeah, it was,
to
it was cool.
it was a lot of fun, and you were wonderful. Of course, I am thrilled to be reading this book. I love it. Now, I got to tell you, I was kind of tickled when I was reading the press release for it, and it was comparing it to a little bit to Keith Richards and to Aerosmith, Steven Tyler's book. And I'm like, I've read both those books. I loved Keith's book, and this is better than both. I'm totally into it.
Oh, nothing could be better than Keith's book.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, but this is really great. There's something about having so many viewpoints in this and the way you wrote it that I thought what I'd do is kind of skip ahead before I interviewed you, and then I thought I don't even want to. I'm about halfway through. I'm where you were on the cover of the Rolling Stone for the first time, and I thought no. I kind of want to be surprised by some of these stories. It's really delightful. Tell me what it meant to you to get together with your sister and write Kickin' and Dreamin'.
Well, I don't know, a little bit like therapy, perhaps.
Yeah, I can imagine. Seriously.
But we wrote it with Charles Cross, who I don't know if you read his book about Kurt Cobain or Jimi Hendrix, but he is from Seattle and really has an intimate knowledge of the Seattle music scene and what it's like to be a Seattle muso. So we sort of waited for him because I really felt that if anyone could do our story justice and not just go head over heels salacious and really tell the story, it'd be Charles.
There you go.
Yeah.
And did you write? Like, did you sit in a room and write any of this yourself, or were you more speaking to him, or how did it work out?
Oh, we wrote. We talked with Charlie for hours and hours and hours over the course of a little over a year, and also wrote, emails and texts and on the phone, and so yeah, it's definitely our words.
Oh my gosh! And what a labor of love! I know. When I started reading and it was reading about your childhood, it was so painful in so many ways, and I thought, how did you even do that? Was that really difficult for you to go back and open up some old wounds like that, or was it after now it's all said and done? How do you feel about it?
Well, I think that the fact that I'm still alive and I'm still doing this thing that I love so much, and people are still responding in such a cool way, I mean, makes the earlier pain worthwhile.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to talk about some of that stuff, but hopefully my story and Nance's story will touch somebody else, who needs to hear it.
Absolutely. I thought I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and we were talking about what we were like as kids, and I figured she was really popular, and she was like, no, I wasn't. And then I started realizing, I think the older you get, everybody's got major issues.
Yeah, that's really true.
Even that redheaded kid that I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to see him at her 10th reunion, and then you didn't. And then you walked away from him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was just like, because I wondered as I was reading, I'm like, is she ever going to get to like face these people again and just stick it to them? And so your 10-year high school reunion, you're a huge star by this point, or you're a rising star, and felt good, looked great, but didn't even feel it, huh? Just kind of had to walk away from that one.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, class reunions are always really weird.
Yeah, they are.
but with the extra added conditions of being on the cover of Rolling Stone and all this stuff at the same time, it was just a little bit too overwhelming.
Oh, I got to tell you, this book, for anybody that's listening to us right now, from all that you say about the Beatles, I have to know, did you ever get a chance to meet Paul? I haven't gotten through the whole book yet.
Oh,
but.
I did, yeah. And just, like, really quickly, just shook his hand at a sound check type thing.
Were you, like, faint?
No. No, the thing was is that by the time I finally did was introduced to him, you know, I'd been a musician myself, and I understood what he was going through there. I mean, he was
Yep.
in the middle of his day. He was tired. He was on tour. He had to shake a couple more hands and, you know, be courteous. And so I kind of saw him more as a human being, and it was great.
One of the coolest things I think that you get out of at least the earlier portion of the book here is, I think it was Nancy that had written, our girlfriends wanted to marry the Beatles. We wanted to be the Beatles. And that was just the nut, wasn't it, for your childhood and really going into this business?
Yeah, I think that was our the click for us, you know. I mean, because that's what kind of made us different from the other girls that we were hanging out with.
Oh, yeah.
Is that they were all worked up about what their boyfriends were doing and all up into their boyfriends' lives, and hadn't figured out what they were going to do their own lives. And I think with the help of our mother, you know, who just really taught us to have our own lives first, you know.
Oh, my gosh. And the fact that even she looked in the paper to see what the Beatles were wearing on stage, and you got to see the Beatles, and she made 2 outfits for you and your band?
She did, yeah.
I mean seriously.
She was a great, an amazing seamstress. I mean, she could have been professional, but instead she made clothes for her family.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, you know, she looking back on that was pretty a huge undertaking.
It's
not
sure,
only
yeah.
for Nancy and I, but she made them for our other bandmates too.
I just love it. And I would love to see a picture of that. I have a feeling you don't have one, but oh my goodness. That had to be really something to see you guys decked out like that.
Yeah.
You know, our time is almost up. I can't even believe it. I could talk to you forever because I'm just delighted with reading this. So I want to point out the book is on sale now, and it's called Kicking and Dreaming by Heart by Ann and Nancy. And then you've got a new CD coming out, Fanatic, on October 2nd. You recorded this. It sounds like Jackson Browne's, what is it, one of Jackson Browne's albums where he recorded it on the road and in the bus and all that kind of stuff. Is that what you did with this, Fanatic?
Yeah, we recorded it everywhere we could because we're touring, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the result has a lot of spark. It's our heaviest album we've ever made. I mean, it's big and loud and muscular, and it's just it's not one of our most folky efforts, you know. It's all the way the other scale.
That's awesome, though. That's what we love about y'all. And finally, you're going to be back at the Fabulous Fox Theater November 7th. Do you remember the venue?
I do. Yes, I do.
And now we're trying to figure out, I was in touch with the people at the Fox. We're trying to figure out if you'd played there once or twice. I believe I saw you in 84 there, but did you play in 78? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But I know we've been there at least once.
Okay, great. Well, you're back November 7th. And is there anything you want to say to your fans in Atlanta?
Oh, well, just I hope they come, you know. I mean, it's just, after all these years, we're still evolving, and it's still real.
Absolutely. Hart, Ann Wilson, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in November.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and good luck on this book. I think it's terrific.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You got it. Bye-bye.
Bye.